Treyarch have responded not just once but twice to all of the backlash and hate that the Liberty Falls reveal has gotten from Call of Duty Next. So the first response came from Kevin Drew within the Call of Duty podcast the other week, which I've already covered in videos, but we have gotten a new response today. First of all, I'm just going to play the clip from Kevin Drew so you can hear what he has to say if you haven't heard it already.
I guess maybe from a design philosophy, when it comes to designing both Terminus and Liberty Falls, what are your sort of goals with each map? Because the first impressions from Liberty Falls is it's very much sort of an easier map for beginners to jump in, while Terminus is I feel there's so much untapped potential of fun things to do and ways to play it.
Yeah, I mean, you got it. It's exactly what we're going for. I think over the years we've found that, hey, some nights I'm into a really deep experience that's going to challenge me. Other nights I just kind of want to chill and kill zombies, And so we wanted to make sure we had at least one map to do that at launch.
You can do both at launch, which is epic.
Especially with so many people. It's been 4 years since round-based zombies, so there's potentially a lot of people who maybe their first time playing Vanguard or Modern Warfare zombies, and it's here's a space to get your feet wet. Right.
So obviously this clip was probably recorded before he was able to see a lot of the online discussion, because it's devolved into an absolute cluster, an absolute mess since then. But basically he explained how Terminus and Liberty Falls are designed to be very different experiences, literally being night and day apart. We have a Terminus, which is the more hardcore map and more complex layout, one of the largest maps we've ever gotten, with the most amount of side quests we've ever gotten, and it has a rich atmosphere with these tentacle creatures, a kraken. It's absolutely insane. It has new bosses, even though it's kind of just a reskinned mimic. And then we also have the spiders, of course. Meanwhile, Liberty Falls is the more casual map. This is the map when you don't really want to put too much brain energy into playing zombies. You just want to jump in, relax, and kill some zombies. It doesn't have a complex layout. You can just walk straight into the Pack-a-Punch. In the church, you just need to open doors to basically get there. And all of this is great. However, I think this is only part of the criticism that Liberty Falls has gotten. There are people complaining that Liberty Falls is too easy, too casual, but I don't understand that complaint at all, because if you want a more complex experience, a harder experience, you have Terminus to play. I also think they purposefully made the game easier for the event at Liberty Falls, giving them more ammunition, maybe making them take more hits, etc., just so that all of the Warzone and multiplayer fans who were playing it as well could get their hands in on the experience and make the mode seem like it's accessible to all types of players. So Liberty Falls by nature are designed very differently, so you have something there depending on what mood you're in. As Kevin Drew said, some nights he wants a rich experience, some nights he just wants to chill and kill some zombies. Obviously, Liberty Falls is probably going to be the most played map in the game, I would assume, because people are probably going to be using it to grind camos and to grind weapon XP, etc., and just to level up in general. So this will be the experience which most people are going to hop onto, regardless of if you're mainly a zombies fan or a multiplayer fan or a Warzone fan. Just because of that sheer fact, that's probably going to be the one people jump on the most. But like I said, I don't think this is the main complaint. The biggest complaint, I think, regarding Liberty Falls has been the lack of atmosphere on the map. Of course, they have tried to make it a bit zombies themed. Of course, it's taking place right as the evacuation is happening on Liberty Falls, so you have Crash Janus, SWAT units, and there's some buildings on fire, etc. But it's set right bang in the middle of the day. It's very bright and sunny, and sunny maps are not necessarily the problem. We've had sunny maps like Shangri-La before that are still beautiful. I think it just comes from the fact that it's almost too bright, and they should have maybe gone for a more moody atmosphere with some clouds, maybe more fire, more destruction. But I think because it is taking place right as the evacuation has happened, that is why it's not too destroyed. So yeah, I think this only responds to some of the criticism, because it's completely negating the fact that the atmosphere is one of the biggest complaints, and the other big complaint is regarding the Cold War zombie systems returning, since the systems are pretty much the same. People are saying it's too much like multiplayer because you can use score streaks, etc. I understand that complaint as well, but honestly, I think the score streaks are just fun. I get people say it kind of ruins the identity, and I just hope that we get more zombies themed score streaks like the mutant injection to turn you into a mangler. It would be nice if all of the score streaks in the game were actually themed around zombies. And also the complaint is a lot regarding the HUD. Some people don't like the minimap, the XP icons, the medals, etc. However, all of this can be turned off, and there's many different presets you can choose from, but it's still not zombie styled. But unfortunately, Treyarch just did a terrible job at Call of Duty Next actually explaining that you can adjust the HUD and turn off all of these features if you don't want it. Before we continue with the rest of Treyarch's responses, I first have a very awesome game to let you be aware of, so stay tuned and we'll be right back to continue the discussion. Enjoy! Have you ever wondered what it would be like to get shipwrecked on a mysterious island and need to work together to solve puzzles to escape? Well, that's exactly what you'll experience in Sync, an upcoming multiplayer cooperative puzzle adventure from Clock Out Games, launching later this year, Q4 2024, not too long away now on PC via Steam, and I've had the lucky opportunity to share early with you. And you can try the 100% free prologue via the link below. In Sync, you and a friend will team up to navigate your way through a series of mind-bending escape rooms, exploring everything from a pirate tavern to a French art museum and even a physics-defying moving train. Every environment is stylized, vibrant, and filled with unique challenges. The catch, every puzzle in the game is languageless, so you'll be solving them through shapes, colors, signs, and numbers. That makes the game super accessible and even colorblind friendly. But it's not just about solving puzzles. The key to success in Sync is how well you can communicate with your partner. You'll need to be each other's eyes and ears as you navigate through these complex environments, working as a team to flip levers, turn wheels, press buttons, and even use pressure plates to make your way through 8 immersive levels. Now, it's not just about thinking alike, it's about staying, well, in sync. You'll face some really creative puzzles, but the game's dynamic hint system is there to help you if you are stuck, without spoiling the solution. And here's the cool part, a new public demo is coming very soon. You'll be able to jump into the first 3 levels if you head over to the Discord, where members get access to this expanded demo, with an extra level very soon. Remember, Sync is not just about the puzzles, it's about communication and staying in sync with your cooperative partner to overcome the challenges ahead. So if you love the idea of testing your teamwork skills while navigating through visually stunning, quirky environments, make sure to wishlist Sync on Steam today. I'll leave a link to both their Steam page as well as their Discord in this video's description, so be sure to wishlist it to be announced when the public demo goes live to try it out for free, as well as you can join their Discord to get early access if you become a member, which should be going live soon, as well as don't forget to try the free prologue, which you can try out right now. And stay tuned because in-game voice chat will be available at launch, but for now, get creative with Discord and TeamSpeak while you play the demo. Be sure to wishlist, you don't want to miss this one, if you are ready to partner and escape the island. Wishlisting will make sure you are the first to dive into this incredible adventure. And I want to give a big thank you to Clock Out Games for kindly sponsoring this video so that I can showcase it for you. I hope you enjoy. Now, this is Treyarch's second response to the backlash that Liberty Falls has received, and it comes from a new behind-the-scenes interview with Miles Leslie and Venture Beat. I will leave a link to the full interview down in this video's description because he talks about multiplayer as well as the campaign, Omni movement, etc., but most of it isn't really that relevant. But the section regarding zombies specifically, GameBeat asked him, with the zombies, is it 2 maps, are they larger or more difficult to create? Leslie said it's a combination of things. One, the complexity, because there's AI involved, it's PvE with the zombies, and it's a cooperative experience that you have to balance. The 2 maps are so distinctively different. This is a big one. With Round-based zombies being back, we heard the community. The zombie scene is killing it. Each map is really unique. Terminus is huge, Liberty Falls is huge and complex in its own way, the small town. Okay, so I don't get that statement at all because it kind of contradicts itself. I'll come on to talking about what he could have meant there in a second. He says it takes time to get right. Thinking about Black Ops 3, when we had a bunch of zombies maps day 1, we are learning from everything we did before to deliver unique experiences. Again, I think he misspoke. I'll talk about that more at the end once I've gone over his full answer. He says, the main quests are huge. We have the directed mode now, so you can bring that story. I'm guessing he means to, everyone, casual fans, everyone can enjoy the main quest now, which is awesome. Definitely one of the best features they've gotten. It's packed with a lot of gameplay. There's so much in it. It takes a lot of time to get that right. Again, it goes to that intentionally. 2 is the right number to deliver unique experiences and the story we wanted to tell. And as Kevin mentioned on stream, we plan to deliver another zombies map before the end of the year. 3 brand new zombies experiences by the end of the year is huge. So let's go over everything important from what he said. So first of all, he kind of reiterated Kevin's point regarding the fact that they intentionally designed both maps to be distinctively different from one another. And I understand that regarding, making a casual map and then making a more hardcore map. I totally understand that. I don't understand it regarding the atmospheres though. That's what kind of doesn't really make any sense to me. If they're trying to make a casual map that's more accessible, by all means go ahead and do so, but just make it feel more like zombies. You could still have a rich atmosphere regardless. I don't think this would turn off multiplayer or Warzone fans. I know I've said in some videos that maybe they purposefully designed the atmosphere to look very aesthetically similar to Urzikstan, Verdansk, etc., the Warzone maps, to make it more seamless with the other modes in the game, but I don't know why that specific aspect would attract the fans over. I think more so regarding the systems and the mechanics such as armor, etc. I think that's going to make it more seamless for Warzone and multiplayer fans to jump over, well, specifically Warzone fans. However, I'm not so sure about the atmosphere itself. If they were to jump into a rich world, I don't know why that would turn them off, but maybe I'm wrong. wrong. Maybe there are some Warzone fans out there that just want a simple experience. I don't really understand that though. And then he went on to say regarding the fact that they've learned from Black Ops 3 having too many zombies maps on day one. So I think he misspoke here, as I said. I think he meant Black Ops 4. Of course, Black Ops 4 had 4 zombies maps day one. We had 2 Chaos maps, 2 Ether maps. We had 9 in Voyage of Despair in the Chaos story, and then we had Blood of the Dead, the Mob of the Dead remake in the Ether story, and then there was the bonus map if you bought the Black Ops Pass, which was classified the 5 remake. But I don't really understand what he meant by this quote, because he's basically saying, in response to the criticism of Black Ops 4 where they did overkill, I definitely think 4 maps day one was just too much. It split the community too much. The community was just overloaded with content. In fact, Jason Blundell even expressed how there is a risk of having too much day one.
We actually had a couple of modes that we chose not to put in on day one because we just thought it was too much. Which I've never been in that position before.
What a good problem to have, right?
What an excellent problem.
Hey, we have too much content.
Yeah.
But then everybody at home's like, oh, come on, Jason. You should have gave it to us.
More content?
I
It's
think
like
there's
4 maps,
there's a
2
danger
new
of
game
being
modes,
too overwhelming.
customization. It's not enough. Never, you can.
I
can't
honestly
please
think there's a
everybody.
danger of that too much on day one. You know,
Too much info or too much...
just too much everything, you
it can
know?
be overwhelming.
Absolutely.
For sure.
So, and I think the community really responds to, you know, let them kind of get their feet.
And it's ironic that he said that when Black Ops 4's biggest fault was having too much day one. Black Ops 4 launched with a bunch of crashes, blue screens, etc. And it's probably because they were trying to be too ambitious with having so much content at once. I guess they felt like because the campaign was cancelled, they had to have a supplement for it. So if there's no campaign, do more zombies content. However, like I said, it meant that the game released in a buggy state because they tried to release too much content at once that wasn't ready. And also, it split the community completely, especially because we were having 2 storylines being told at once. It was overwhelming, especially regarding the main quest. Which ones do you focus on? So this time they've looked at Black Ops 4 and they've said, you know, this time we're going to scale it back, just have 2 maps on launch. And Black Ops 4 would have definitely been better if they spread out those launch content over the post-launch DLC. In my opinion, maybe the game would have released in a less buggy state, and then there would have been a constant stream of content post-launch. We would have literally gotten 6 maps in his DLC, although they were planning a second season pass that got cut. So, you know, maybe that's why they were trying to cram so much at launch, because they knew so much was still to come. But yeah, I don't really understand his quote. Like I said, I think he misspoke saying Black Ops 3 and not Black Ops 4, but even if he meant to say Black Ops 4, I don't understand this quote, because the problem with Black Ops 4 and having too many zombies maps on day one wasn't that there was a lack of variety in zombies experiences. With Black Ops 6, it seems obvious that they're trying to have 2 experiences that are radically different from one another. But that wasn't the problem with Black Ops 4. Black Ops 4 had something, maps for everyone in my opinion. You had Classified, which was a very casual experience everyone could jump into, and yes, you could argue that because it was locked behind the Black Ops Pass that, you know, maybe it prevented players from experiencing that more casual experience. Then you had Voyage of Despair, which was definitely a complex map, especially regarding the main quest. Definitely not one made for casuals. But then we had 9, and personally I think 9 is one of the easiest zombies maps, and the Coliseum itself is very open. That map was clearly designed for those casual fans. Then we also had Blood of the Dead, which was a more complex experience once again. So personally I think that there was kind of something there for everyone. You had 2 more casual experiences, and then you had 2 harder experiences. But maybe they're responding to Black Ops 4 in a more even extreme way, where maybe they felt like even 9 as well as Classified were not casual enough, so they're stripping back Liberty Falls even more to make it even more accessible, and it is so accessible. So maybe that's kind of what he meant there. Again though, I don't understand regarding the atmosphere, because they can totally make a casual map but still have a rich atmosphere, and also I don't understand why we're just playing as operators on the map. I understand maybe storyline wise it makes sense for the operators, but they could still have a cast of operators that have, you know, distinct quotes during the main quest. Now of course Liberty Falls is still going to have a main quest, and is still going to have plentiful side Easter eggs. In fact, regarding the main quest specifically, Miles went on to say the main quests are huge, and he said plural, so it does seem like both the Liberty Falls and Terminus quests are going to be very expansive. We had this previous quote where they described the Terminus quest as having a lot to it and being a beast of a main quest.
It's a beast of a main quest. You know, it'll use the ocean, it'll use the islands, it'll use every part of the map proper. It's one of the bigger maps we've created.
So it's clear these main quests are going to be very complicated. Even the one in Liberty Falls, whilst it might be a more casual map if you just want to play going for high rounds, I think if you want to do the main quest, you're going to have to use some brain power, because now we're going to be getting the casual quests in season 1 of 2 or 3 weeks to however long after the main one's release. Because of that, they're able to make the main quests even more difficult. And of course, there's going to be many different side quests which were all deactivated at the Liberty Falls gameplay reveal. And the real-life Liberty Falls, which is of course based on the real-life West Virginia town Harper's Ferry, has a load of ghost stories in the real world, and they even hinted that a lot of the side quests on the map are going to be regarding these old people who used to live in the town.
It's such a built-out world. It's great, and there's actually all these little stories about the people who used to live there, and some little side quests that maybe you'll find.
You guys, side quests never.
So
what?
yeah, well, you gotta wait till it comes out. But, you know.
And maybe we're going to see some of these ghost stories brought to real life, or at least in the game, in the map. And I assume there's going to be side quests regarding the people who were there whilst the evacuation was taking place. Maybe some of them are trapped in different buildings and you need to rescue them, etc. And that could have all been deactivated during the event. Now, there is one bit of cope going around in the community right now where people think that Liberty Falls might be a lot bigger than meets the eye, because maybe it was all deactivated for this event because it might be Easter egg related stuff. People are saying, you know, maybe during the Liberty Falls quest, you activate a whole underground area, because we know in Liberty Falls, Richtofen has of course had underground tunnels built. People also say maybe we're going to access the mansion that Richtofen was in within the intro cutscene. Maybe we're going to go to this Janus Towers that we see in the distance. And this is further amplified by Miles's quote, where, like I said before, he specifically says Liberty Falls is huge and complex in its own way, the small town. It takes time to get that right. Now, some people are interpreting the fact he says the Liberty Falls is huge, but then says the small town, which completely contradicts itself, is referring to the fact that maybe Liberty Falls is a lot bigger than meets the eye, but it just wasn't able to be accessed at Call of Duty Next. However, I think him saying Liberty Falls is huge is more so regarding the depth of the map, regarding the side quest and the main quest. I think that's what he's on about. I think he's saying there is a lot to do on the map, even though it is just this small town. It's not going to be, you know, a situation like the Giant or some of the smaller maps we've had in the past. Whilst it is a smaller, more casual map, there's still a lot of layers if you want to unpeel them, because it's going to have a lot of side quests and a main quest, unlike maps like the Giant, or even Classified. It didn't have a main quest. Of course, we had the Project Scaddy quest, but that wasn't a main quest, and that would just allow you to get the Winter's Howl. And then you obviously had the round 150 cutscene, but there was no main quest on the map. It had some side quests, of course, but I think there's going to be way more side quests on Liberty Falls, and I think that's what he's referring to. He's saying whilst it is a small map, a casual map, there is so much to unearth. Now, yes, there might be the chance in the main quest we're going to be able to access more areas. However, I think if we are, it's not going to be as crazy as people are saying. We're not going to be able to explore the entire mansion or some massive underground laboratory. I just doubt that's the case. I wouldn't be surprised if we go in a room or two, but I don't think we're going to go into an entire map, because for them to build an entire map just for the quest just seems very unlikely for them to put all of that effort in. In the files of the game, of course, we've had various different maps leaked, such as the mansion itself, the Janus Towers, and I've seen people in my comments saying, well, what if these maps are actually just places you access in the quest? However, in the files, they're distinctively referenced as maps, so it seems like they're maps. I wouldn't be surprised if we go in them in the quest itself. You know, maybe we teleport into the mansion and then come back out again, but it might just be a room from the mansion, or we go in a room from the underground labs or something like that. But I don't think it's going to be the full thing. You know, maybe they give us a preview of some of the DLC maps to come, we jump in and out, but we don't get to see the full experience to spoil that for us, and it could preview the maps to come. That's definitely a possibility. I do think there is the potential for more areas in the quest, but I just don't think there's going to be, you know, a crazy amount of areas we're going to unlock. It just seems way too unlikely. When have Treyarch ever done that? They've never had an entire map that's literally as big as the main map itself that you then access just through the quest. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a couple rooms or so, but not an entire map as big as the mansion or something like that. People are also saying maybe during the main quest, the area gets more infected by the dark ether. The dark ether from the church spreads out and encapsulates the full map, then giving it a cool atmosphere. Again, whilst I think that would be cool, I don't think that's going to be the case. It could be, and maybe that's why they've gone for such a bland atmosphere. I personally don't think that's going to be the case. Maybe more areas get infected, but maybe not the full map. We will have to see, though. That's definitely something that could happen. If we are having future maps set in Liberty Falls here, though, maybe the outbreak does start to grow, so then we're able to go to the outside regions as well. Anyways, that's all I wanted to say in this video. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you think of all of this? Thank you for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're not able to play some great Call of Duty news and information. So anyways, thank you for watching, and bye.